So let's move on. We have a lot to talk about with college football and not a lot of time. So let's hop into this. First off, what are your week 8 thoughts? We're kind of seeing a regression from Texas, which is concerning for a lot of fans. Ryan, go ahead and share your opinion on where Texas is at right now.
Well, the defense looks like it's been kind of shell-shocked after Oklahoma for whatever reason. They just have forgotten who they are. I know they're dealing with injuries, especially in the secondary, but that's still no excuse to be performing like they are. Additionally, play calling has been an issue.
Yep.
And did you know, I saw this stat the other day. No team has ever even gone to the national championship when their head coach is calling the offensive plays. And Sark is calling the plays.
That's really a thing. I didn't know that. Well,
yeah.
I mean, there could be the first for everything. But also, was this team... I mean, I guess it was expected to make it really deep in the postseason.
I feel like this team, if we looked at it realistically, this team should have been get to the Big 12 championship, hopefully win it. I feel like that was the goal of this team. And then next year, we're looking at the big year. But I think we're on or ahead of schedule still. The Quinn Ewers injury hurts, but I'm also very excited to see what Malik Murphy brings. And maybe if he sucks, we get to see Arch, which I hope we don't have to see Arch yet.
Yeah, you don't want to burn that red shirt.
But Malik, I mean, I don't know. If you watch his high school film, obviously the entire team loves him. They're rallying around him. He's a lot more athletic than Quinn.
Oh yeah.
And maybe with Quinn being out, we see a lot of the players step up, play extra hard, do that thing. Be interested to see how they run the offense through Malik now, whether he's going to be running a lot, we're going to be running a lot more. I think that we're going to see a lot more deep balls because of his insane arm talent. And also, he throws the ball the fastest I've ever seen anyone throw, college or NFL. It's crazy.
Like,
that ball is a space shuttle.
You want to compare it to Aaron Rodgers' arm? Is it comparable?
Yeah.
To that?
Did you see when he came into the game against Houston?
No, I did not watch that Houston game. I was busy, unfortunately.
He was throwing missiles.
All right, that's
something. The ball was too fast. The ball was too fast for AD Mitchell to get to.
Is it a Michael Vick talent?
Oh, I've never seen him run at the college. He's never run at the college level.
All right,
it's different.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Malik Murphy, that'll be something to see. And Sark has always favored more run favored type of quarterback, more dual threat.
Yeah. And Quinn kind of has changed it up a little bit this year, where he was able to run here and there, but he's not a scrambler. He's never been a scrambler.
No. But we'll see. Texas got who do they got next week?
BYU.
Ooh, good thing it's not in Provo, because that would be an issue.
Yeah. BYU and then K-State both at home. Yeah, that would be a situation.
Yeah. So yeah, Texas not out of it, but definitely have an uphill battle. So looking forward to see how the bowl eligible Longhorns do. 6-1 now. They're going bowling. Hopefully not the Alamo Bowl for the 50th time.
Yeah, Texas Bowl, baby.
Yeah, well, there is a Texas Bowl too, which they've been to recently. Anyways, once again, Michigan's the best team in the country. Absolute blowout at Michigan State. There's really not much to talk about there. McCarthy's good, and he's living up to what I thought he would be. So, and honestly, he should be considered in the Heisman now if he wasn't before. But I want to talk about... No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think he's definitely up there, but I think for me at least, Jaden Daniels is the front runner right now.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. But, Penix's still there, but Penix had a really bad game against a really bad team, which might have crushed his hopes for Heisman. But, if he can if he can stick with it all the way to the Pac-12 championship game, he can definitely redeem himself. But a 15-7 win against 1-6 Arizona State is just at home is just miserable. Washington did not impress me. They should have moved down in the rankings. They're lucky they didn't. Probably because we had it's just because Penn State lost, really. So
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to talk about. Penn State Ohio State game, defensive masterclass on both sides. That was a fun game to watch. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was. I think Ohio State finally got the win that I've been looking for in order to believe them as legit. I think that they still have a weakness at quarterback, but they have the weapons around him to make him look a lot better than I think he is. And that defense is legit. I think Penn State's still a good team, obviously, but I also know for certain now that they have hit their ceiling with James Franklin, and James Franklin will never take them to that next level.
No, which is a shame because everyone was expecting them to be title favorites, and they're not obvious. They have no shot at winning the Big Ten East now because you got Michigan and Ohio State obviously clogging that one up. So no championship game yet again. When was the last time they were even in a Big Ten championship game, if ever? I can't remember.
I can't recall.
It's been a long, long time if they have been. It's definitely before I started watching, but it's just been Michigan, Ohio State. So obviously that game's coming up soon, but not yet. That'll be a fun one. I also want to talk about, because you were right. Last week we talked about Florida State and Duke. It was either going to be a blowout or super close. It was a blowout. And it was, ironically enough, it was super close for 3 quarters. And then Jordan Travis decided he wanted to play football and absolutely dominated in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. I got you.
My bad. I thought
I told you. Oh, it's okay. No, I told you what was going to happen, and it happened. Duke. I mean, I still think Duke has nothing to hang their heads about. They played hard. They gave up at the end, I think that really boiled down to Florida State obviously had more talent, more depth, and it was just a matter of time, to be honest. I think that they were going to win either way. Jordan Travis is really good. What's his name? Keon Coleman is very good as well. And, I don't know. I think that was, looking back, pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah, I thought Duke was gonna. Well, they had it close, but it came down to, obviously, like you said, depth, better coaching as well. Adjustments were made, and I mean, obviously the 3rd quarter was a stalemate, but adjustments were made in the 4th quarter, and they ended up just dominating. So that was Florida State's best win so far against a Duke team who's probably going to win 9 games, 9-3. Yeah. I think safe for Duke.
It's not a bad team.
Yeah, so good win for Florida State. They finally proved, at least to me, I know they proved to you that they belong in the top 5 because there's a lot of games where it's like this team kind of is just coasting. But good for them. I'm looking around. Alabama dominated Tennessee. Tennessee's not good. The fake UT is not good at football this year, at least.
How about Oklahoma? Nail biter 2-point victory against UCF at home.
At home, yeah. I mean, I texted you this. The Big 12 is so balanced. You're gonna have those teams that are sub 500 competing with the top 5, but with Texas, and this could be a BYU Texas thing next week. OU escaped their trap game on Saturday. OU still has 1 trap game left, which is Oklahoma State coming up, but they also got to travel to Lawrence, Kansas this weekend against a Kansas team with a healthy quarterback. So
that would be interesting.
Upset watch in Kansas, just like I think last year Kansas beat OU, and that was a good watch.
Yeah, that was one of the teams.
Yeah, so I mean, a win's a win at this stage. Right now, with rankings not moving really much, a win's a win. And UCF is not they're not a good team, but I mean it's still a Power 5 and in a decent conference. It's early, man. It's early. It's 8:00. Decent conference.
Yeah, and I already talked to I already informed the girlfriend that Saturday I would be watching football all day, because it is a big week, a lot of pretty exciting matchups, and college football playoff rankings come out next Tuesday.
Yes. So this is something we
time.
should definitely be watching. Ryan, if you might not have it in front of you, but what's your top five for what the college football playoff should look like?
My top five: Michigan, Ohio State,
2. All right. Big Ten.
Florida State,
All right.
Georgia.
Okay. And then the outlier, who's 5?
5 is going to be, if you asked me Friday, it would have been Washington.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Oklahoma because I can't argue against them.
I mean, I would say Texas is still 5 because, and this is like coping, I guess, but Texas shouldn't have lost that game in Dallas. They're not going to lose again in Dallas to OU.
Texas
I think
played
Texas
their
has
worst game of the season.
Yeah,
and OU
and they
played their
almost
best.
won. And
Mhm.
and Texas has a higher chance of winning out. We saw that with UCF almost beating OU, and OU still got to play Kansas and Oklahoma State away. I mean, the odds of them winning both those games are pretty low unless Dylan Gabriel is him, which
Mhm.
I'm not sold on him. He played a great game, like you said. They played their best game against Texas. I still think Texas they have a better chance of making the playoff than OU does for sure, and they're not losing to OU twice in the same season. That hasn't happened. Texas and OU have not beat each other twice in the same season since what, like 08, like 05, things like that.
Yeah.
So a long time. So, I mean, it's just, I think Texas is my 5 team, but I like your top 5. I think Georgia still deserves 3 over Florida State,
Mhm.
but I understand where you're coming from because Florida State had a good win.
Yeah, they did, and I hate Georgia, and also, I mean, two things. I mean, I don't believe in Georgia's quarterback, Carson Beck, and I also, you got to take into account that Bowers is out for the year.
Or at least until the championship game.
Yeah, out for the regular season.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair to rank them based off that, but I don't know. It's hard for me to put an ACC team in the top 3 in this day and age.
Yeah.
It's just, it hurts.
Well, that is fair as well. That is fair.
So
How about North Carolina? How about North Carolina losing to lowly Virginia after Mac Brown was talking all week about rat poison?
It is absolutely devastating. And North Carolina actually had a chance if they were to win out and beat FSU, but that's gone. And I mean, losing the 2 and 5 Virginia is tough. There's no way around it. It's like, it's almost as bad as barely beating 1 and 6 Arizona State, but at least you won the game as Washington. Heart goes out to Ashton, friend of the show, UNC student. Tough week for him, man. He's also
tough.
a Packers fan. Just an absolute rough week.